Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. It sucks that I went over time in my stream again today because now, we still get a little less than an hour of OJ, but it was a good stream, so it was worth it. But we're never going to get through this trial if we don't chug on, and losing minutes hurts. All right. Unfortunately, I rebooted. So now we have to figure out what we're doing. So we'll just have to do it together. I don't know why it's my responsibility. Oh, that's right. This is my channel, isn't it? So I think we're here. I understand that some of these have been played. Now I think we might be here. What I'm gonna do, no, we're here. We're definitely here. Because remember the day before it was a short video, the short videos. So we're here. This is where we're at. Oh, Lori's here. Hi, Lori. Walter, are you here? Where's Walter? All right. I was fourth. I wasn't even first today. I'm always first, but not today. I had to text so many text messages. Oh, Terry, I got the greatest bagel recipe. Now your bread is rising, and I just want to go make these bagels. I can't because I'm here. But let's start the OJ trial again. We need to get through this. We can't talk like this, guys. Talk to me later.
And did you not find out?
Objection, hearsay.
Okay. We're just going to listen to a little bit and see if we've already seen this. I really don't think we have. I think this is where we stopped. But if you think we've seen this before, let me know.
I finished the question.
Yes.
Did you not find out
we saw
in the
this
course
before.
of your investigation that in truth and in fact, Faye Resnick became a resident at 875?
Let me see counsel this side by please.
Oh, I want to make these bagels so bad. Okay. I don't know if we saw this. Still can't tell. Oh man, Fozzie, you're old. Bye, Carla. Well, guys, we're up to 9 people. Maybe one more will show up. We'll get to 10. Oh my God, I can't wait till I get my Bill shirt so bad. I want it so bad.
You're done, be seated. Mr. Lang, you can step down.
Just so you know, Bill, to answer your text, huge plans. I just, maybe I need you. Maybe that's what we need. That we'll push each other.
All right, records reflect the jury has withdrawn to the jury room. Mr. Darden, let me give you a piece of advice. Take about 3 deep breaths, as I'm going to do, and then contemplate what you're going to say next. You want to take a recess now for a moment?
Wait, what's going on?
I don't require a recess, Your Honor.
All right. I'll hear your comment at this point. I've cited you. Do you have any response?
I would like counsel, Your Honor.
You can have counsel. You have counsel.
I have to rewind it, guys, because he just got
You
in
want to
big
call your
trouble.
counsel?
All right, so
Want to
we're
have
just going
somebody
to
for
go
your
here.
appellate division come down?
In the month of June of 1994. Did you ascertain that in the course of your investigation?
That was information that I did receive, yes.
Did you find out at some point in the course of your investigation that Faye Resnick moved in with Nicole Brown Simpson on or about June 3rd, 1994? If you found out.
Overruled.
Same objection, hearsay, no foundation.
Overruled.
That is what I had heard, yes.
And did you verify that?
I personally had no way of verifying that.
Well, did you ever talk to Faye Resnick?
I did not interview her. I believe my partner in the district attorney's office interviewed Ms.
All right.
Resnick,
Well, who's your partner?
Detective Van Etter.
All right. And as such, he is the co-lead investigator in this case. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
And did you not find out?
Objection, hearsay.
May I finish the question?
Yes.
Did you not find out in the course of your investigation that in truth and in fact, Faye Resnick became a resident at 875?
Let me see counsel with sidebar, please.
I'm not fast forwarding this sidebar, even though we can't hear it. I need to see what's going on. Something happens. Cochran's talking. Marcia's answering. Darden just went like that. That's it. That's all he went. Cochran's talking. Marcia's talking. Darden is doing nothing. Marcia's talking. Mad. She mad, bro. Nothing. He's not. Marcia's talking. She's been talking this whole time. She doesn't get to talk this much. He's not saying anything. I think he just said he's talking. He's talking. Oh, look. Ito, you mad, bruh? Oh, he's mad. Oh, over. He made the cameraman turn away. Get out of here. Get that out of here. Come on. Hurry up. I wonder what other videos Cornice has that we might like.
Seated. Mr. Lang, you can step down. All right, records reflect the jury has withdrawn to the jury room. Mr. Darden, let me give you a piece of advice. Take about 3 deep breaths, as I'm going to do, and then contemplate what you're going to say next. You want to take a recess now for a moment?
I don't require a recess, Your Honor.
All right. I'll hear your comment at this point. I've cited you. Do you have any response?
I would like counsel, Your Honor.
You can have counsel. You have counsel. You want to call your counsel? You want to have somebody from your appellate division come down?
Public defender, he's indigent.
I'd like to be heard on Mr. Darden's behalf, Your Honor.
You represent Mr. Darden in this matter?
I don't know if I'm legally entitled to, but I would like to be heard on his behalf.
All right.
What we are all concerned about here, Your Honor, is that there is a method of cross-examination that is being conducted by Mr. Cochran.
It's
That
not
has
what
a-
I'm interested in, Ms. Clark.
And but that is the impetus for the exchange at sidebar, Your Honor. And we are, all of us greatly concerned about what the jury is getting. They're getting, that is the impetus, that is
Ms. Clark,
what
Clark.
led to
I don't want to hear
the
this.
exchange at sidebar, Your Honor. Mr.
No, Ms. Clark, I don't want to hear about that. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in the refusal to avoid, excuse me, the refusal to obey the court's order, not to address that issue, not to speak to the court, as I was hearing from one counsel, not to interrupt the court. And the court gave 3 admonitions, and Mr. Darden chose to ignore those.
Mr. Darden did not choose to ignore
3? It happened so quick. How could he have given him 3 whatever?
them. I think Mr. Darden
Whatever.
was simply at that time overcome with what has been transpiring with Mr. Cochran's cross-examination. It was not a desire to flaunt the court's authority, although I would point out to the court that the court's order to stop and desist has been ignored by the defense time and time and time again with no citation. No citation. Mr. Darden is simply responding to the events that have been occurring in this courtroom today and have been occurring throughout cross-examination. I myself have become overwhelmed by the fact that the jury has been given hearsay, has been given, and the record will stand by what I said, slop, in the form of counsel testifying before
Counsel,
every
didn't
witness.
I just tell you I didn't want to hear that? I'm interested in a contempt proceeding.
Cite her.
And if the court would like to set the matter for OSC, then we will proceed to OSC. I don't think it's required. I think
No,
that
it's not required. I can do it summarily. Do you want to push it to that?
no,
Then how come you
I-
haven't taken the opportunity? When I invite counsel to take 3 deep breaths and think very carefully about what they're going to say to the court next, that's an opportunity to get up and say, gee, I'm sorry, I lost my head there. I apologize to the court. I apologize to counsel.
He's right,
When you get that response, then we move on. When you tell the court you want to have an order to show cause, that's a different response. That says you want to fight. You want to fight some more with the court? You're welcome to do so. I'm going to take a recess. I'm going to give you and Mr. Darden an opportunity to think about this carefully, with about 10 deep breaths, perhaps.
And some rum. Put some rum in there, guys.
Have I made myself clear?
you have. Shall I take off my watch and my jewelry?
10 minutes.
Oh, that was read the room, lady. Okay, we have 10 minutes. What are we going to do with our 10 minutes? Ooh. Fast forward it, of course. I'm scared to skip parts now. I don't know what we're looking at, but I'm scared to no, screw those cats. Enough. I'm not going to fast forward it because I don't know what's about to happen. I don't know why the cameraman panned out. I don't know why he's at the podium. Because what's happening right now has nothing to do with him. He should be over at his table. It's not even muted. Was that a few weeks ago, Jen? I think I saw that. I think someone's coming in right here. No, I was wrong. I know you guys don't know. I know you guys aren't going to be able to get there, but there was a TV show, I think in the 80s, and it was a comedy. And there was a guy who was I don't know if he was a bailiff or a police officer or something, but he doesn't look exactly like him at all. But this guy reminds me of that guy so much. And I see him every day in OJ, and I can't remember the TV show. And I've been trying for 77 episodes now. So if anybody sees this guy and it reminds him, no, no, because we just saw him at home. Like it was mostly, no, it was mostly in a home setting.
It's probably bad karma, Mr. Neufeld, today. Huh?
Bull? That's some bull.
We'll ask him to step outside.
They're probably waiting for the elevator. It's very difficult to get in the elevator here. No, it wasn't night court. No, it wasn't Major Dad. It wasn't Three's Company, but it was so close to that one. Does he have counsel with? Nope, he doesn't have a lawyer with him. No, it was a TV show. No, it was a
Good
TV
afternoon,
show.
counsel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Any further comment?
We would ask leave of the court to recess at this time so that we can be present with appellate counsel tomorrow morning.
It's a pretty simple procedure. You wish to pursue this?
We are only asking for the opportunity at this time to confer with counsel.
Well, you seem to have two options. Either you offer an apology to the court and we proceed, or we proceed to a contempt hearing. Those are your choices. Request for a continuance is denied.
Yo, eat it. Eat it was tough, guys. No, no, you may not have a moment. Apologize and get on with the trial. Yeah. Don't mind me. I'm taking this time to just look at every 80s TV show there is. I don't want to fast forward it, guys. I need to know. like I
We would
do.
like the opportunity to confer with counsel before we resolve this matter, Your Honor. And is the court then not going to afford us that opportunity?
Nope.
We could proceed with the trial and resolve the matter at the conclusion of the day or in the morning tomorrow. And that way we wouldn't have to take up any more court time with this matter at this time.
It's a very simple way to terminate this, Ms. Clark.
I'm aware of that.
I think I've offered it to you twice already now. I don't know that I have to do it a third time. But I'm prepared to go forward if you wish to choose, if you choose otherwise.
Well, even if the court is prepared to go forward with the contempt proceeding, we're entitled to counsel, are we not?
It's a civil contempt, counsel. Has to be adjudicated immediately. Unless you want to make it a criminal contempt and have a jury trial. Love to see the voir dire in that case.
Me too. Can we use the same jury, Your Honor?
Ms. Clark, all levity aside, I've offered you now 3 times an opportunity to end this right now. This is very simple. And perhaps if Mr. Darden had the opportunity to review the transcript that I have before me, he'd see the wisdom of that.
And perhaps we would like to review it as well, but
Guys, you were there. You don't need to review. You were right there. Apologize.
why don't we review the transcript, Your
Mr.
Honor?
Spence, your comments aren't
And-
necessary. I heard him. I have great ears.
I'm sorry?
Never mind.
I think if he apologizes, that the reason why he doesn't want to apologize is because if he does apologize, that is pleading guilty. You know what I mean? He is saying that he did something wrong. Hi, Puzzle. So that's why he's not, because it could be later this comes back and bites him in the ass if he admits to doing something wrong right now. Like, you know what I mean? If it's a mistrial or if the defense wants to use this later in another way, they can if he apologizes. It's just what I think. I think that's why they're not.
You guys make me feel like Mr. Kimball.
Who?
Never mind.
Not literate enough.
Let me see counsel at the sidebar without the reporter, please. Mr. Hodgman, you join us, please.
I don't know why Marcia's letting him talk to the judge. He's talking. Shh. Digging a hole. He's just digging a hole down deeper right now. Marcia, this would be a really good time to say another joke. The judge is speaking the most. She's laughing again. The defense ain't, they're not saying nothing. No, the guy I'm thinking about, he doesn't look like him now. He looks like him from far away. In the sitcom, he is a security guard, a police officer, and don't say chips. And he looks just like this. He has this kind of outfit on. But we see him mostly in a home. Like the sitcom is mostly inside of a home. You don't look at his face or his head, just like mm, I I don't know how to describe it. I was just hoping someone would say, "Oh my gosh, yeah, he reminds me of blah blah too." Defense is gone and they're still talking to the judge. That can't be okay. Speaking of trivia, I don't know if you guys are going to be free Saturday night, but I told my bosses I'm leaving early. I just told them I was. I didn't ask them. I just said I'm leaving early. And we are going to do a members only Saturday night. I'm going to use the easiest name that tune songs that I can think of, and you're still not going to get it, guys. going to be the impossible but easy Name That Tune members only. It's going to be so much fun. Because last time people cheated, guys. They had like SoundHound open and they were just, well, I know, Jen, you're not married. You should be out dating. I'm going to fast forward it because I can't wait any longer. I need to know. Unless I see fists flying, I'm fast forwarding it.
All right, thank you, counsel. Mr. Darden?
Your Honor, thank you for the opportunity to review the transcript of the sidebar. It appears that the court is correct that perhaps my comments may have been or are somewhat inappropriate. I apologize to the court. I meant no disrespect. However, I did have some concerns I would like to take up with the court when the court is available to hear my concerns. I apologize.
Mr. Darden, I accept your apology. I apologize to you for my reaction as well. You and I have known each other for a number of years, and I know that your
My girls will be there too.
response was out of character, and I'll note it as such. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's have the jury, please.
Became aware at some point that Faye Resnick moved in with Nicole Brown Simpson on or about June 3rd, 1994.
Sustained. Sustained. Rephrase the question. You can ask him if he conducted any investigation
Thank you.
regarding the residence.
Thank you.
and what
Did
he
you have occasion to conduct an investigation to determine whether or not Faye Resnick moved in at the 1st of June, 1994 with Nicole Brown Simpson?
I did not personally.
And did you have someone under your direction do that?
Under my direction, no. I believe my partner made that interview.
All right. And your partner's Van Adder?
Yes.
What did Van Adder do to make that determination?
He interviewed Ms. Resnick.
And who was present during that interview?
I wasn't there, so
All right. Have you reviewed the interview, sir?
I have been told about portions of the interview. I have not read an interview.
You've not read it?
No. I
Was it
believe
correct?
it was perhaps tape recorded anyway. I'm not sure.
All right. And you've not listened to the tape?
I have not.
And where was that interview conducted, if you know?
Objection hearsay.
Can you ask if he knows you?
He knows some hearsay.
He indicated he wasn't here. I don't think this is the appropriate witness.
And it was your partner, Van Adder, who conducted it? All right. You have never talked to her personally yourself,
Just in passing, a greeting.
but in connection, not only just a greeting, with connection with whether or not she ever lived at that residence. Have you ever queried her at all?
No.
Now, with regard to the Akita, the brown Akita, Cato, did you see that Akita at any time on June 13th, 1994, sir?
No, I did not.
When you arrived at the scene after 4:25, was the Akita out in the street anywhere at that time?
I believe by that time the animal had been impounded.
All right. Did you have, as part of your investigative duties, any tests or any photographs taken of any substances on that Akita?
There was an examination of the Akita, but it was not that day.
All right. Was that done in the course of your investigation in this case?
Yes.
And when was the examination of the Akita?
I believe it was during the time of the service of the second search warrant, if I'm not mistaken, on June 28th, 94,
Where was this examination done, if you know?
at 360 North Rockingham.
The Akita was back at Mr. Simpson's house at that time?
Yes.
What was that date again, sir?
I may be mistaken, but my recollection is June 28th, I believe, at the time of the service of the second search warrant.
All right. And what kind of examination was done at that point, if you recall?
The animal was examined as to its aggressiveness. And there were other behavioral type tests done by the dog expert,
All right. And who is that dog expert?
Sergeant Yarnell.
And do you have a report from Sergeant Yarnell because of your investigation?
There was a report generated, yes.
May we see it, please?
I don't believe it's here. I believe it was turned over a couple of weeks ago.
Turned out to whom? The DA's office?
I believe so.
And you don't have a copy of it?
I'm not aware of one. I could check.
Well, will it take very long? If you can check.
I can
quickly.
check one section real
Yes.
quick here.
Would you please?
Android.
I don't see it here.
You don't have it, but it was by Sergeant Yarnell, and that report was as a result of an examination that was done on or about June 28th, 1994. Best of your recollection, is that right?
I believe so, yes.
Now, what I had in mind, though, sir, was do you know whether or not anyone ever checked the blood that was supposedly on the Akita at a time before June 28th, 1994?
I saw no one do that.
All right, in the course of your investigation in this case, did you ever have any photographs taken of the Akita between the period June 13th and June 28th, 1994?
I did not.
Do you know whether or not your co-lead investigator, Van Etter, had that done?
I don't believe he did.
Did you, in the course of your investigation as the senior lead investigator in this case, or co-lead investigator, did you have occasion to review the notes by Mark Furman as they relate to the dog on that particular, the night of June 12th, 1994?
I reviewed some notes of Detective Furman.
All right, and do you recall whether or not there was an indication?
Objection, hearsay.
May I finish, sir?
Objection, no, there can't be anything else.
May I finish, please? I'll restate it.
Sure, the question, but it sounds suspicious.
Well, I said, let me restate it.
All right.
I have a suspicious question, sir. With regard
You
to,
have not the proof in it, sidebar?
may I just ask the question, Your Honor? Detective Lang?
We
Let's-
will not, of course, we will be closed.
Let's hear the question, but
Okay.
be cautious,
Okay,
Mr.
all
Carroll.
right. Detective Lang, at any time, as the senior co-lead investigator in this case, did you ever conduct any tests or direct anyone to conduct any tests as to whether or not the Akita dog on the night of June 12th may have bitten anyone?
Subsequent to that, yes.
And when was that you conducted these tests?
Again, that would be the tests of June 28th.
Do you know where that Akita had been between the period of the 13th and the 28th of June?
I believe at the Rockingham residence.
Were you present when the Akita was brought back to the Rockingham address?
No,
Did you see, when you were at the Rockingham address at about 5:30 on June 13th, 1994, did you see the Akita Cato there?
I don't recall seeing the dog there at that time.
Does that mean it wasn't there? You don't recall seeing it?
I don't recall seeing it.
Now, there are two Akitas at Rockingham, isn't that correct?
Yes,
There's another Akita, the black dog is also an Akita, is that correct?
yes,
Did you find out that dog's name?
yes.
What's that dog's name?
I believe it's Chachi.
All right, so the black dog is Chachi and the brown dog is Cato, is that correct?
Yes,
Now, did you find out, do you know in the course of your investigation who bought both of those dogs?
Objection, irrelevant,
It
hearsay.
becomes relevant, Your Honor.
I'd like to see
It'll become relevant.
Oval.
Did you find out who bought those dogs?
I had heard who bought those dogs.
Who bought them?
That's hearsay.
Well, how did you make that determination of who bought the dogs?
I don't recall. I just heard who bought the animals. I don't recall. There was no specific reason for someone to discuss that with me. I just heard that.
Do you have a report of that connection?
With who bought the
As to
dogs?
Who bought the dogs?
No.
All right. Now, on June 28th, when Sergeant Yarnell was there, were both Akitas there at that point?
I believe so.
In the course of your investigation, did you ascertain whether or not the Akita Cato had at some point lived prior to June of 1994, had lived at 360 North Rockingham?
No.
Never made that determination?
No.
Do you know, and in the course of your investigation, did you ascertain when the Akita Cato was purchased?
No.
Were you present when Sergeant Yarnell did whatever tests he did on the 28th?
I was at the location. I did not observe the entire examination, but I saw him with the animal.
Do you know whether or not he took any photographs of the Akita Cato that day?
I don't know.
Do you know whether or not he took any photographs of his teeth or gums?
I don't know.
No. While we're on the subject of dogs, did you ever use any dog to help you in your investigation on or about June 13th, 1994? Did you use such as anything like a scent dog at all? You ever do that in your investigations?
A scent dog?
Yes, a dog who would seek to pick up a scent of some individual.
No.
Have you ever done that in the course of your investigation?
I have not. No.
Now, with regard to the dog Cato on that night, you looked inside the interior of that residence, did you not?
Yes, I did.
Did you see any bloody paw prints inside the interior of the residence?
No.
Did you see any bloody paw prints that went westerly toward the rear gate of that particular residence?
No.
You saw paw prints, did you not?
I saw
I never ate galoshes.
what I believe to be paw prints, yes.
And the paw prints that you saw moved in an easterly direction from the front gate out toward the sidewalk, is that correct?
Initially, yes.
And then did they make a right turn to go kind of southbound on Bundy?
That's correct.
Then did they make a right turn to go kind of westbound on Dorothy for a short period of time?
That's correct.
You never saw any paw prints either going inside the interior or in that long walkway there on the side of the house, on the north side of the house, did you?
No.
And while we're about it, as the investigating officer, can you tell us, sir, the distance, the approximate distance from the front gate of Bundy that we talk so much about to the rear gate at Bundy? How far is that in feet?
I believe it's approximately 110 feet.
All right, 110.
Approximately.
All right, and to the sidewalk of Bundy.
If you only knew how disappointed I was, Tina, that we're talking about this damn dog again. I just want to stop. That's it. I give up. I tried to do the OJ trial. I tried real hard, but I can't because they just keep talking about this damn dog.
To the rear gate would be about how far?
I think perhaps 120 feet. I believe the length from the sidewalk to the alley is approximately 120 feet, so I can only estimate from there.
All right, so from the sidewalk, and we're talking about the sidewalk on Bundy right there to the rear gate. Is that correct?
Yes.
Would be about 120 feet.
It may be less because, again, I believe the sidewalk to the rear alley is approximately 120. I have a schematic that would give us a scaled distance. But if you're asking my recollection, it's probably 100 to 110 feet, somewhere in there.
I would like, and I think we'd all want your best recollection.
The cow. What? What does that say? Holy cow, Tina. Thank you. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
You can give it to us, sir.
Well, it would be if I would look at my schematic, certainly that would,
If that's not too much trouble, can you do that?
certainly. Looking at the ground floor schematic on Bundy,
Yes, both council may approach.
to point out on the schematic, the sidewalk is at an angle. So as an estimate, from the rear gate to the front sidewalk as an estimate, I would say 120 feet.
All right, and looking at, you're referring to a schematic, which will not mark, Your Honor, but there's a schematic in his homicide book. All right, and looking at that schematic, your best estimate at this point is about 120 feet from the front of the sidewalk of Bundy to the rear gate of Bundy. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. I believe you'd indicated the other day that the intercom inside the house worked. So that someone standing outside that gate could speak to someone inside that house. Is that correct?
Yes,
But you had tried to see whether or not the front gate would be possible to open the front gate from inside the house. Is that a fair statement? You tried to do that?
yes,
And did you have the help of anyone else when you tried to do that?
yes.
And the conclusion you came to that was inoperable at the time you tested it?
I was able to get a sound, a clicking sound out of it, but we couldn't get the release to work properly.
All right. Now, you'd never done this before that time. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And what date did you do this test to try to determine whether it was operable?
Initially on the 13th, and it was done subsequent to that.
All right. And did you have anyone ever from the Brown family to assist you in that at all in the course of your trying this to see if whether or not it worked?
I believe the Brown family was there when we did this.
You believe they were?
I believe they were not there.
Okay. You believe they were not?
Yes,
All right. And so at the times, at least that you tried it, the intercom worked, but you could not get the front gate open from inside the residence. Is that what you're saying?
yes.
In the course of your investigation in this case, did you ever have occasion to go to Mr. Ronald Goldman's home?
I personally did not.
Did anyone under your direction go there?
Yes.
And who was that?
Detectives Tippin and Carr.
Tippin and Carr?
Yes.
Is that Tippin,
Yes,
Carr?
that's correct.
Do you know whether or not they found out was there shower and bath at Mr. Goldman's home?
So shower and bath?
Yes.
I believe there was.
Did you have a drawing made of the interior of that residence?
I believe there were photographs taken. I don't believe there was a schematic.
When do you recall when Tippin and Carr went to the residence of Mr. Goldman's?
No, I don't recall a specific date.
In the course of your investigation, did you ascertain whether or not he had a roommate on the date of June 12th, 1994?
I don't believe he did.
Now, did he drive a vehicle to the Bundy location, if you know that night?
Yes, he did.
And what kind of vehicle was that?
I believe it was a Toyota.
And do you know whether or not that vehicle belonged to him?
It did not.
Belonged to some other person?
Yes.
Where, if any, in relation to the address at 875 South Bundy, did you find this vehicle parked? You found it so parked?
It was parked on Dorothy Street on the north side of Dorothy, facing in a westerly direction near the alley.
On the north side of Dorothy, facing the westerly direction? Toward the
Westerly
alley?
direction, and that would be west of Bundy.
All right, in the alley that runs behind Bundy there, is that correct?
Yes.
At what point and on what day did you discover this vehicle belonging to Mr. Goldman, or that Mr. Goldman had driven there?
It was discovered on the 13th.
At what time?
What time?
Yes, what time of day, sir?
I believe it was approximately 3 p.m.
Now, as I understand it, when you first saw this, the glove and the knit cap at Bundy, they were under
You don't get to talk no more.
some foliage or plants, a plant. Is that correct?
Yes.
And have you recently been to Bundy? You've been there. You were out there with the jury view, were you not?
Yes.
And that plant that the glove and the knit cap were under what appears more full on the photographs than it appeared at the time of the jury view. Would you agree with that?
It appeared about the same to me. Perhaps it appeared about the same.
That question did it. Put me well past my limit. Nope. I got to stop for the day. My courts are about to open and they just annoyed the hell out of me. Snoopy. Hi. The foliage. Now we're going to get into the foliage. And you know what? I need to breathe before I get into that because, it's going to be long. Talking about leaves on trees to know whether OJ killed someone or not. No mod on mod violence allowed. When did we start that rule? That's not fair. All right, guys. Yeah, friendly fire. He posted an owl. I ain't friendly. I'm looking at this site though. I want to dig into it right before court starts. I got 5 minutes if I start right now. This is where they got this video. It's expensive, but I want to see what trials they have. So, thank you so much for coming out. We made it to 24 people today. That's crazy. It was a good OJ. Listen, if you just came in late and you want to see the best OJ episode we have had yet, rewind this one. This one is the one. No, there's no glove in it, but it's good. It's really, really, really good. Thanks for coming out, guys. I really appreciate it. I do. And I hope to see you all again very, very soon. Bye, guys.